Hello wonderful person, this is Anton, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at another space-ish game called Aven Colony. This is a game that's still in beta, but you can buy it in the link in the description below, and today I'm going to tell you what I think about it. Welcome to What the Math. So first of all, you actually start in this really cool menu screen, which is quite beautiful if you ask me. But basically, yeah, this game is a colony building game. It's a game very similar to the one we've taken a look at around the same time last year called Planet Base. And that game was actually really awesome. I even did a bit of a playthrough of it. But this is even more complex. As a matter of fact, even as a beta, this seems a lot more complex than Planet Base already. So when you just start the game... Alright, I had to actually shut this lady up because she wouldn't stop talking. Anyway, so what I was going to say is that when you just start, you actually have at least 2 tutorials to choose from, and then 5 separate missions on different planets with very different climates and very different atmospheres in terms of the actual feeling to them, and obviously dangers and hazards. This already makes the game very varied, and there's actually 4 more that you can unlock later on as they get implemented, but I believe this game will actually have a very long campaign. The first one you start on is Vanar, and this is a pretty easy tropical world that I'll show you in a second. The second one is sort of a sandy desert that we're going to try as well, and then you get these ice worlds that are actually very beautiful as well. So let's check out the Sandy Gulch first. And let's begin with this desert level called Sandy Gulch. I'm going to skip through the first part where they're actually going to explain the story, and I'll give you the nutshell of what's happening here, because every single mission will have a bit of a storyline, and a lot of it is actually very interesting. The campaign here is actually pretty amazing. Anyway, so the storyline is pretty simple. We are on this desert planet trying to save one of the colony managers who decided to explore one of these cave thingies. Now, can you guess what she discovered in them? Well, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but it possibly is something not very safe. And maybe something not very small either. And maybe something that actually left us with a skeleton that is not very small. Anyway, so long story short, you have to grow a colony and discover what happened to her. The game is actually pretty amazing, but it usually is or plays out in a very similar way. The only difference is that every planet will give you a different challenge. In this case, this is a dry planet that has very little water. Most of the water is located in these oasis-like structures. Otherwise, you have to use... let me just actually pause the game for a second. You have to use these atmospheric condensers to try to extract water otherwise. And this is, of course, what they used in Star Wars on Tatooine. You have to basically worry about all of these resources that you have. So water, food, nanites, which is basically like a currency that you can either get through rewards, mission rewards, or through basically mining and constructing them yourselves. Then there's oxygen or air quality. This here shows you the storage, and this here shows you the total population, and of course their happiness or morale. Now, the first thing we're going to do is build up a bit of an energy here, because we're not really producing that much energy just yet. So we have to build a geothermal generator on top of this geothermal vent. So let's go into here, and then click, boom, done. So that's essentially the game in a nutshell. You're going to click on things, build things, and make things bigger, better, and more productive. Now, the game itself is very beautiful. There's a lot of detail that's been put into it. You can actually zoom into like really close and see the grass move. You'll see all kinds of creatures and animals. Once in a while, there's some sort of a flying animal or a creature that comes up from, you know, somewhere and starts interacting with your colonists. And you can also see the colonists. They're actually right there. You can even individually click on them and be like, hey, how's it going? How you doing? What do you want? Nothing? Okay, do what you keep doing, or you kept on doing so far. So yeah, morale is very important. You have to keep your colonies happy or they'll actually move out. Alright, so we have a little bit of energy, actually quite a lot of energy, so we can now focus on things we're missing in life, such as water. Water pump! Build it please for me here somewhere. Okay, so let's build one right here. It gives us the most water possible, and we also need to build a hallway connecting this to our main base. Next thing we need is food. Build me food, please, and thank you. Now, food is a little bit more complex. So there's 2 types of things you can build. You can either build a farm, which basically requires atmosphere and sunlight, Or you can build a greenhouse, which mostly just kind of works everywhere, but produces less food in the winter. Or just, I guess, in general. I'm gonna build a farm just to show you how this works. So there is a lot of different vegetables and fruits available. I think some of them are made up. Like, I don't think these are real, unless I haven't been following up with my diet. But the one that is best to produce on dry planets like this one, you can actually see, if I click on these different things, it changes color. That's because these will be less or more productive. But quinoa is, I think, the most productive vegetable in this, or I guess grain in this case. And I think this spot right here gives me the most, 8.2 quinoa an hour. So let's build it here. Let's connect it with a tunnel. Maybe this way. And this should now produce enough water for us and hopefully enough food. We'll see if this worked or not. But we now have our 2 first rewards. We got 9 nanites, which is the money for producing the pumping station. And we got some more for building a geothermal generator. Oh, we can also actually collect this cargo pod, but we don't have the drones close enough to this just yet. So if we were to construct the drone facility right here, they would be able to pick it up, but not just yet. So here comes the next mission. And now we need to build an iron mine so we can actually produce iron. And that's essentially how this game starts. You basically follow these missions. The game will often, in the beginning at least, help you quite a lot. They'll show you what to build, they'll tell you what to build, they'll progress the story a little bit, and then it gets more complicated. So, let's try the glacier level, Tanari Glacier. This is the level that is quite the opposite. Everything here is very, very cold. And this level is significantly more difficult. Now, once you start this level, you right away start with 3 problems. Low food, air quality problems, and you have buildings that are just breaking down. This is a very inhospitable planet. You can kind of even go through it just to see what it looks like. Everything here is frozen. There's practically nothing for you to essentially harvest here. And most food will have to be grown in greenhouse tents, so for the most part you'll be struggling through all of this. So every single level will play out a little bit different, but once you complete it, the story will progress and you'll open up the new levels available too. Although in the beta, all of the levels are available right away, and I believe that's just for you to kind of see what the game is going to be like in the future. Let me show you what it looks like when you actually play this for like a few hours and when you advance your colony a little bit. So this is actually the first level we start on. This is the tropical world that's super, super easy to start in and to kind of survive in. And you essentially build up all of these buildings. You kind of upgrade them along the way. You construct an immigration center so that you can attract more colonists. And a lot of this, especially if you zoom in, actually feels really alive. Like people are walking around, you'll actually hear them talk to each other. I kind of disabled the speech though, but here we go. There we go. They actually even say hi to each other. Isn't that awesome? So yeah, there's a lot of atmosphere in this game. There's a lot of really cool, tiny additional things that make it just so much more cooler than some other games that I've played previously. And all in all, this is actually kind of a fun colony builder. I mean, it's not super complex. It's not really anything extraordinarily original, but the story here is cool. The actual game is kind of fun. And considering this is still in beta, this is already a pretty cool game that I would definitely recommend, even though it technically is not the cheapest game right now. It's like $25 right now, and I believe it's only available through itch.io. It's not available on Steam just yet, but possibly in the future. But you know what? If you like these types of games, then why not give this a chance? Give Aven Colony a try, and you might not be disappointed. And yes, the lightning storms are quite intense on this planet. And you know what? Look at how beautiful this is. Look at those shadows moving across the sky. I'm going to actually accelerate it so you can actually see them. Look at how it actually gets darker and you can see the sunset, and there's some sort of a creature or possibly... Oh, it's wintertime. Yeah, there's also seasons here. There was either a creature or a spacecraft that just passed by us. And essentially this game always feels very, very alive, which is why I actually really, really like it. Anyway, so that's all I wanted to show you in this particular video. I just kind of wanted to explore this game with you and give you a feeling for what Aven Colony is all about. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe, possibly share this with someone who enjoys watching various space games or learning through video games, and potentially come back tomorrow to learn something completely different and completely new. I'll see you later, guys. Oh, wait, lightning. That's what I'm talking about, right? See you in space. Bye-bye.